Well, now, if you've been wondering and asking yourself, well, is it about treasury bills and bonds or is it about money market fund? Which one exactly should I pick? Because I really want to invest, but I'm caught in between the three things. I don't know. Should I go with the bills? Should I go with the bonds? Or should I go with the money market fund? And by the way, each and every of these three, what does it entail about and how can I get started, by the way? I'm outside the country and I want to get started. Oh, by the way, I'm not even a Kenyan. Can I even start in these areas? Absolutely. That is exactly that what I'm going to talk about in this video. And by the way, I'm going to take it slow, step by step, for you to understand every bit of what you need to do as far as these investments are concerned. All right. The only thing that you need to do, by the way, it's nothing. Just to like the video and subscribe if you're watching me for the first time, because I upload a video each and every day, and also comment on the comment section. And by the way, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. Let's get into the business now. We have three things that you're talking about here, okay? We have the bills, we have the bonds, and we have the money market fund, okay? So what does it entail and which one should you start with, okay? With that case regard, there's something that you're supposed to know. First of all, before you even pick any investment method, you need to ask yourself, how much money or how much capital do I have to get started? Because all these three, they differ in terms of the amount. For example, let's start with something called the amount. Okay, let's start with the amount so that we see each and every one, how much do you need as a minimum? Okay, let's say you decide to invest on treasury bills. You need a minimum of 100,000 Kenyan shillings. That is like $1,000. Okay, how do you write the $1,000 like that? Yeah, 1K. You need a minimum of $1,000 or you need a minimum of 100,000 Kenyan shillings. So if you go to the bonds in terms of the amount, you need a minimum of 50,000 Kenyan shillings, 50K. That's like 500 USD. All right. If you go with money market fund, guess how much goes by? This one you need as low as $1. As low as $1. That is 100 shilling. Okay, but there's some even, but we do not have any money market fund in Kenya that goes above a minimum of 5,000. No, a minimum with just 5,000. If you have 5,000 right now in your pocket, for example, you can be able to start in any money market fund in Kenya. You can be able to do so. So you need as low as 100 Kenyan shillings, you need as low as 5,000 in between. Why am I giving a difference in terms of the figures? Because it depends with the company that you choose. There is a company, its minimum is 100 Kenyan shillings or $1. There is a company whose minimum is 5,000. But I'm yet to see a company that you need, or maybe only one that you need a minimum of 250,000 Kenyan shillings. But I'm yet to understand that whether that is really a money market fund that they are offering. But I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure with 5,000 Kenyan shillings, you can get started with any money market fund in Kenya. So the very first question or the very first difference for us to answer the question, which one is the best, you first of all need to ask yourself, okay, for example, treasury bills can be the best, but is it the best to you? It is not the best to you if you do not have this amount. For example, let's say your budget is 5,000. All right, that's what you have. Therefore, even if this is the best, therefore it means yes, it is the best, but it's not best for you because you cannot get it. So I decided to make sure that at least I am actually outlined in this way. Okay, that is the amount. That's the difference. Let's go to the other factor. The other factor is the duration, or we can call it time. Okay, we can call it time. Okay, this one, it is divided into three durations. We have the 91 days, we have 182 days, and we have 364 days. In simple terms, this means 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. All right, what does it mean? On treasury bills, as much as you're investing 100K, you can decide to invest it for 3 months, you can decide to invest it for 6 months or for 1 year. So what happens, for example, let's say the treasury bills here are, but I will go to that point. Let's continue first. On the treasury bonds, you can actually, this one in Kenyan market is usually starts all the way from 1 year all the way to 30 years. Again, it is not specific that it goes for this duration. For example, the government can say the current treasury bond that you have, it is going for 2 years, it is going for 5 years, it goes for 30 years. They have, by law, they can go all the way from 1 year all the way to 30 years. Some people tend to think like, for me to invest on a treasury bonds, it is me who dictates how long I want to fix the money. No, it is them. They float a bond. They say this bond forgoes. For example, the recent one that we had, I'm making this video in May 2024. The recent one we had was about 9.9 years. That's like 10 years. So for you, if you feel like, hey, that is too long, I don't want to invest my money for that too long, then you'll be like, I'm gonna leave it out. Then you wait for the next one that will be available. If the next one they say goes for 3 years, that's okay with me. The other one, some people, if they can go for 10 years and be like, no, I don't want that for 10 years. I'm waiting for over 15 years. You get the thing. So the duration here matters a lot. If you wanna go for the long term, consider the bonds. If you wanna go for the short term, let's say you have some cash with you somewhere, but you again, let me just hold the thought. I'm going to explain to you. Let me give an identity of a money market fund. With this case regard, this one is open-ended. Open-ended. It's open-ended. What does it mean? A money market fund, you can put your money today and withdraw next week. It doesn't have to be 1 month, 1 year, 2, 3, 4. No, you can put your money today and then next time you can say, hey, guess what? I don't want this money. I just don't want this investment. I want my money back. I want to do in a 2 day or 3 days, you get your money back. Sometimes even a day. If it's a partial amount of your money, you can be able to get it. So it's open-ended. So let's say you are seated there and you're like, I would like to invest in an area whereby I do not have more money. And then the money that I want to invest in, I still want to access it at any given time. Just like I said with the money market fund, you can access it at any given time. Therefore, that will go for you. Let's say maybe you are like, okay, fine. Well, I am okay in terms of the pocket. I want to take this money. I want to invest it, but I don't want to go for over 1 year. Therefore, the treasury bills goes for you. Or you'll be like, I do have years good money with me. I want to invest it, but I'm looking at it for over 1 year. Then the treasury bonds becomes better for you. All right. Now, the other thing when it comes to the other factor that differentiates between these things, or the common factor here, common factor I should say, common factor is that tax here is 15% withholding on interest. The similar thing is usually 15% withholding on the interest. What does it mean? Whatever you earn as your interest, then you have to deduct. Not you. The government does so without even you filing anything. They just do so immediately. Once you get that interest, they get their 15% and you get the rest. All right. Well, after all, we have to pay the taxes. Welcome to the world, the planet Earth. Taxes ought to be paid wherever the country you're coming from, okay? Now, see, now what happens now? These are examples of the differences between these money market funds and what have you. Now, what happens now on the bills and the bonds and the money market fund? It depends now again with the account, or should I say accessibility. Accessibility. How accessible are these? For this one, you need to have a CBK operated account. You need to have a CBK account. You need to have a CBK account. Oh, and by the way, if you'd like to have more information on how to open this CBK operated account, you can contact me. These are premium services. If you'd like me to take you step by step on what you need, take my number from the description of this specific video. Then I can call me or text me. Then you can be able to have the discussion. So you need to have a CBK account, and the CBK account it's called DAO CSD. DAO CSD. Okay, now in this case, the similar thing you need to do so, account, and then it's called the DAO CSD similar account. There is no account for bills. No. If you open one account, you're good to go. You can operate it buying either of these two. Now on the money market fund, you don't need. The only thing you need just to open account. Just open account. What account? From that company of your choice. It's as simple, and you can open online, and as well as you can open online. When I say online is when you on the social media, or not really on the social media, you can do so maybe from your website or download their app, or maybe online, you can visit them physically for you to open a money market fund account. All right. Now we go to the next level. The next level is that on the things, who can invest? Who can invest? Who can invest? All right. And this is the question of, if I'm not a Kenyan, can I invest? On the bills, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And for this, you need to be a nominee of a what? Of a commercial bank in Kenya. You need to be a nominee of a commercial bank in Kenya. You can. I actually have a lot of clients who actually are not even Kenyan. They manage to open this and be able to invest on Kenyan market, especially for now. The interest rate is quite of interest. Okay. Now, what happens? Now you can open as a nominee. The same here. You can open as a nominee. Okay. But with money market fund case, this one again you can open as a nominee, but this one it's a bit complicated. It's a bit complicated, but it's not overly not true. Does not mean that you cannot open it. You can, but it's a bit complicated. Though as a nominee again, you can be able to go ahead. You can rely on the bank that you did become a nominee for you to invest on these specific areas. Okay, when you're doing your application. Why? Because even the bank that is actually nominating you to invest on these treasury bills, itself, they have a money market fund. So if they can be able to link you up with the Central Bank of Kenya to invest on bonds and bills, why not the money market fund? So yes, it is possible to do so. Actually, it's not even complicated. For your information, it's actually even easier compared to investing on the bills and bonds. Now, the other thing is about interest. All right, interest here with bills right now as you speak is around 16.8%. Again, depends on, maybe you're watching this video after 2 years, after 3 months. For now, I'm making this video on May 12th. May 12, 2024 is around 16.8%. This one goes for 16%. 16%. I'm indicating the time because they fluctuate, they change from time to time. And the money market fund, again, it is not static. We cannot say this is the specific amount. I can say it's all the way from 12% to 15%, around that percentage. So it differs from one company to the other. Some even give you 16% and something of sort. So it differs from one company to the other. So it's you to choose which one you go with. Now, this is the question. I've given you all the identity of the 3 things that you can be able to invest on. Now, the question is, which one is the best? Because I know that is the title of the video. Which one is the best? Now, I know already I've answered that question because I cannot tell you, hey, guess what? Bond is the best. Hey, money market fund is the best. All this is the best. No, based on the identity, based on how I've described them. Now it's you to choose and say, okay, based on what Joseph has explained, I think bills are better for me. I think bonds are better for me. I think all of them are better for me. But if you ask me which is the best, I would say, can you be able to get both or all of them? Amazing. Go ahead and get all of them. Why? Because this one, there is a gap that it fills. Let's say you want to fix your money. You want to become liquid at the end of the year. This is a good to go. Let's say this one, you're looking at it from the point of a long time. Amazing. So if you're looking this from the point of, hey, this one, I just want to access my money. I just want to be liquid at any given moment. An emergency can come, whatever. Maybe I'm looking at it from point of it's a sinking fund, it's an emergency fund. Then this one is good. So for this one, if you ask me, I would say this one is a money that you fix for a 1 year. This one is a point where you can take it from a long-term point of view because this one can even go for 30, 40 years or 50 years thereabout. This one, obviously, they have a maturation period. It cannot go beyond 30 years. So if you want to do something, let's say, for example, you just got employed and you're looking forward into something that you want to create as what do you call it, this pension thing, then this one is actually becomes far much better compared to the 2 identities. So depends on what you want to do, because you always ask me, Joseph, which one is the best, which one should I go with? Now those are the identities. And by the way, I forgot to include one thing here. I hope you'll be able to squeeze it somewhere. There's something called compound interest. Compound interest is when it's like giving birth to babies who give birth to babies. So when bills, no compound interest, they do not have. No compound interest, yes, they have. All right. So therefore, as much as the bills and the bonds, they have higher rate in terms of the interest rate, they do not have the compound interest. What do I mean? For example, if person A and person B, they invest on these things. For example, say person B, A invest on bonds, person B invest on a money market fund. They invest the equal amount of money. For example, let's say the guy invests 100,000. There is no top up again. You invest 100,000 for the next 10 years, and that one invest 100,000 for the next 10 years. Rest assured, the one on MMF will have more money compared to this guy. Why? This guy has what we call the simple interest. As much as it's high, assuming there were no interest, the guy will have like 16,000. I'm assuming there were no interest, the guy will have 16,000. So the next year it will be 16% of 100,000. So the guy will still have. But now for the MMF, the guy will have it will have, let's say, 15% of 100,000 is 15,000. The next year it will be 15% of 115,000. Did you get that? So the number of years as it goes by, when you have the compound interest, or the guy on the MMF is likely to make more. So you might make a wrong judgment saying, hey, B's and Bo's have high interest, so I'll go with this one, disregard this one. But if you want this one is objective for longer period of time, the best thing that you can ever do. So I hope I've answered the question, which is the best, treasury bills and bonds or money market fund? That is it. That's the buy. And by the way, don't forget my book about personal finance. Practical. By the way, I love to call it practical personal finance. Why? It is ready, has everything that you're looking for on how to manage your cash, manage your debt, how to handle your family members who are stubborn like all the time. You can get that copy, goes for only 300 Kenyan shillings. Go ahead, grab that number, shoot me a call or a text. Then you can be able to get your copy, irrespective of where you are. For now, it's a goodbye. And by the way, don't forget to like the video, comment down below. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.